What's going on, boys and girls? We're going to do some salmon today. My mom used to cook fish every Friday. We had it for years, Friday. I didn't really like fish when I was a kid coming up, but as an adult, I really love fish. But I cook mine on Saturdays because I come home from work. I work a half a day on Saturdays. I come home and I just decided I wanted to have some fish. So today we're going to do some salmon. It's just a really quick, easy recipe. Try it at home sometime. You don't have to use the spices that I use, but the ones that I use really make it turn out really, really good. So try it out. All right, so we're going to start off with our salmon fillets here. These are just typical small little salmon. It's about maybe a half a pound a piece. We're going to start off with a little bit of white wine. That is a Sauvignon Blanc. You can use some lime juice, or you can use some lemon juice, a little bit of grape poupon mustard. You can use regular mustard, extra virgin olive oil, some dill weed. You're going to use some Italian seasoning, and some Everglades fish and chicken seasoning. Alrighty, so I rinsed off my fish, and one thing you always got to check, guys, I rinsed it off. I got to looking at it, and I was like, wait a minute, those things look like they got scales on them still. And I think they do. Look at that. So you got to check your fish, man, because they may not be scaled. So we're going to have to scale some doggone fish. I'd be doggone. All right, now look at that. That's a big difference. See, this side right here, I scaled it and rinsed it off. Now you can look at that right there and tell the scales are still on it. And I'm not saying that you couldn't cook that and cook the scales and make it where you could eat it, but it tastes a lot better when they're scaled. Now see that? See all the doggone scales I took off that fish? Now that fish looks a whole lot better here, so we can go ahead and start cooking it and preparing it. All right, now we're just going to make a little bit of a marinade. We're going to start off with an olive oil base here, and this is going to be maybe about a third to a half a cup or so of olive oil. We'll take a little bit of our white wine and do about a fourth of a cup or so. Maybe a little bit more. The wine will burn off, guys, so you ain't gonna get drunk drinking this or eating this. A little bit of lime juice here. You don't want to put too much of that. Maybe 2 tablespoons of that. Bunches of dill weed. Can't go wrong with dill weed. Just put a bunch in there. Bunch of Italian seasoning as well too. You can't go wrong with that. And then you want to get you some of your seasoning, your Everglades here. Everglades has a really good spice to it. And again, you don't want to put too much in there, but you do want to make it so it's nice and flavorful. And then you want to use your mustard. And we're going to use about a couple of tablespoons of mustard here. Well, we won't get it out with that, will we? That ain't going to work. All right, we'll see if this is going to work here. Just a couple of, and again, you can't go wrong with this mustard either, to be honest with you. Okay, then we're going to mix it all up, guys. This mustard, I don't know if you ever had mustard on fish before. That mustard really brings the flavor out, really does. Gives it a nice little tangy flavor. Just kind of mix it up thoroughly. Now, if you don't like mustard, you don't have to use as much mustard as I did. We like it a lot, so this will really, we don't want that to happen. All right. All right, now what we're going to do, this is just a glass pie plate. You could also just use some aluminum foil, but we're going to use a little glass pie plate here. Spray it down with a little bit of cooking spray. Then we're going to take some of our seasoning mix and put some on the bottom here. Just spread it out there on the bottom. Nice and lovely. Okay. And we're going to take our fish Lay one piece down there. And see, the fish was good looking until I had to scale it and had to break it apart a little bit, y'all. Put that down here, and then we're going to pour the rest of it on top of here, trying to evenly disperse it, however you want to say it, on both pieces. Okay. Smells delicious. It's very nutritious. And then we're going to take some aluminum foil, put it on top of our dish to cover it so it'll cook thoroughly. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and then voila, you will have a nice salmon meal. All right, I got it in the oven, 400 degrees. We're going to go about 20 minutes. All right, it's been about 20 minutes. We just took it out of the oven. Oh yeah, that looks good right there, guys. That's what you want it to look like. It smells delicious, and we're gonna plate it up with some broccoli, and we're gonna have lunch. All righty, we've plated it out, and when you plate it out, you can just spoon a little bit of the seasonings onto the top of the fish, because some of it's not all the way on it. We put it with a little bit of broccoli. That's going to be a great meal, simple meal. Try it sometimes, guys. You can do this with any fish, actually. It just works real well with salmon.